Okay. Okay, so let me just share. Okay, so if you don't have your wall hatch fill, like solid fill, you can just type in VG and find your walls and the columns, okay? Just go in the walls. If you see here, you will click on the cut pattern. Can you see here? Where is my mouse? Okay. So can you see the cut pattern here? You will click on this, select the solid hatch, like solid fill, and change the color you want. Keep it gray, that's good. You don't have to make it more gray, darker, like a black or something. But those who are working, if it's not, just make sure you change this, because once you add to the Photoshop, it looks nice if you have walls and columns are filled hatch. Let me just do that, apply, and okay, I already has that. Then next thing is that when you have a different rooms, right? So if you see here, you have the doors are open here. So if you remember when we did in AutoCAD, we add lines at the door level, right? So we will do the same thing in this. So if you have all these, like you will have some floor area different. So if you see here, I'm planning to use a same floor area in the offices. Maybe conference room will have a different, the lobby area and open office will have a different carpet or something like that. So what you will do, you will go in annotate, okay? And there is a detail line in annotate. So you will just select the detail line and change the detail line to thin line and just use the lines to cover. So when you select with the magic wand in a Photoshop, you will able to fill the color and it will not select the whole entire room. So you just use your detail line, fill everything up. All the ones. So once you do that, make sure you have, if you have any room names in here, if you have a hatch, a floor hatch already, you can just, if you made a legend, you just change in there, or you can just hide in place. So it will be easier. We just need a clean floor plan. So what I will do, I will just select my grid line and I will say hide in a view category. I don't want a grid line. I will select the text and I will say hide in a view category. So I don't want anything that will disturb my thing. I need just furniture and all doors are nice and closed then. So you can just utilize the same floor plan. And if you see, let me just, I have given you the Revit presentation. Title block is a simple rectangular box that you can use it. But for my drawing, this will can help for me. So you can just, like if you see, this is, I will just make a new layer. Let's go. Let's just add that. I will just make a new sheet and I will load that presentation sheet. Maybe I'll have in downloads. I'm not sure where I keep it. So you can just download from the canvas. I need to download. Let me just download so it will be easier. Showing folder. Copy. Let's paste in here. Okay. So you will just select that is easier to open. Okay. So when you have a new sheet, you will just pull the floor plan that you have selected. You will just pull on a sheet. Okay. Let me just delete that. So as per your scale, this is 11 by 17. So make sure your floor plan fits on 11 by 17. Why? Okay, what? Let me see which plan I worked on. Okay, furniture plan. Okay. Let me just resume recording. So make a PDF, Control P. I don't want to print. So either Adobe PDF or Microsoft Print to PDF, whatever you have, you can just work on. Select view. See what's the view I have put in, I don't remember. So make sure you know which view to select to make a PDF. I didn't know what's the sheet it is. Okay, 101 level 11 floor plan. Okay. Control P. Just a one sheet. Select. Okay. Click on setup. Make sure it's zoom to 100% center. You can just keep it black lines because we don't want any of the color in there. That's okay. Okay. Yes. ISU courses. See, I'm working on Revit. I went to the Revit folder. Sorry. Okay. Once you're done, you can just turn off your Revit. You don't need a Revit right now. So your computer will be faster. And then open a Photoshop. Okay. I'll just open the Photoshop. Turn off the Revit. Yes. Okay. So once you guys, good. So now open file, go in file, open, and select the PDF file that you just made it, okay? Make sure the resolution is 300, it's good, say okay. And it will come like this. It always comes without any backdrop, okay? So what you can do, first, say level 1 as a floor plan. Rename as a floor plan, yes.
Mine is super zoomed in, even though the PDF saved as it was.
Super zoomed in.
Like it's zoomed in on the.
Okay, that's okay. It just get cropped because there was no lines there, right? If you have a text, because now I would have not have this one, it could have been zoomed in, but you're on the right. That's okay. Okay, so just rename that as a floor plan. Okay, of what's happened. You just got a zoomed in.
It's like not like the pattern, it's like white.
Okay, it's okay. Sometimes it's just act weirdly. That's okay. We will see. I will talk about it. As long as just, if you have white, let it be. I will come and see. But just make a new layer. If you don't have a white, just make a new layer saying backdrop or background or a back, whatever you want to say. And pull that below the floor plan. Okay. And then add a white, fill with the white color. So make sure you select the backdrop, background, and select a paint bucket tool. Make sure you have this white and just paint and then see how it looks. I will come and see those who don't get like that way after recording. So just select the material that you want to put in and we will do the define pattern. So I will open the material that I want to use in. So the floor, I will open, the carpet, I will open. So make sure you open everything. Carpet, okay. This is the pattern that I worked on Photoshop to make a pattern. So if you have something like that, open that one. So you will get a nice pattern. If you have any chair fabric selected, if you have any table fabric or table laminate or veneer selected, you just select that. I will just open few of the things, so I will just show everything. And then once you do that, you will go edit and define pattern. I will say herringbone for my lobby area, lobby floor. I will just close that off. This is the same thing we are keep repeating. So this is my table laminate. So I will just do the edit, define pattern, table, laminate. Carpet, file, sorry, edit define pattern. This is like a big file. Did you guys able to see? File material, that's okay. Okay. So now, for this, for whatever you make it, you will just repeat the same thing to add materials. And we have done this multiple times, right? So I will show you the two different methods how you can add a materials the way we have done adding a solid pattern and then making a new layer and we can add it. So let's go in a floor plan. So make sure floor plan means this floor plan. So always you need to select, whenever you're selecting the area to color or add material, you need to be in a floor plan always, okay? So I make sure my layer, floor plan layer is selected, and then I will use the magic wand tool. Okay, I will just select the magic wand and I will click on, oh, I went on the back, okay. Control Z. I will select, and then if you see here, when you select any room, your doors doesn't get selected. So make sure you select on a shift and you add that door area as well. I'm just selecting my office area where I want to put the carpet. Just an office area, I'm just selecting. That's closed office, I have all selected. Okay, make sure they all have selected. Oops, Control Z. What I am doing. Now, once you do that, you remember we use a solid color to add a fill color. So I will make sure the color is here, something different. So when I do the coloring, I want to see that. So we'll see here, like click on the yin yang, that black and white circle. And instead of solid color, you will say pattern. Okay, because now we don't have to do anything in perspective because it's a flat, right? So we can directly use pattern here. And then I will select the carpet that I have selected. And then you can change the scale because that's too big. So I want to make sure it's nice and on scale. I will say okay, and I will see how it looks. Looks something like this there. Okay, so this is a simple way to apply the carpet, but what if you need to add some shades and shadows that you can apply all together? Okay, so what I will do in here, I will just select the pattern field. I will just rename that as a carpet floor, so you know that once you have multiple layers, it's hard to find anything that you want. So make sure you always rename it. And when you rename after that, right click on that and say blending options. Okay. And then you will just click on inner shadow. Okay. And I will just change the angle to 45. And then opacity, you can just reduce the opacity to 49. And if you see, you can see the distance, choke, size, how it looks. I just don't want that size. Blend mode to multiply. Just change this color to maybe lighter gray. Don't make it too dark. It's just to give some highlight to your floor. Now, if you see how it looks, you see it's a darker carpet, so it's hard to see from when you zoom in. But if you see here, now you see you have some shadow, but it's a lighter shadow that you can get in there, right? But it gives your furniture more highlight and you have nice outline of shadow around there. So it's an inner shadow, okay? You guys are good? Do you want me to stop and see, or can I continue? Okay, let me just stop and then I'll come there, okay? Resume recording. Okay, now I will show you the different method. Oh, it's not zooming in. Okay. So I will select this area to add a different material, but we will do with a different method. So I will again use the magic wand. Why it's showing like that? Control D is something. Okay. Let me go back to floor plan. I will use a magic wand. Okay. So make sure whenever you're selecting any area in your floor plan, you are in the floor plan layer selected, that is highlighted. So I will select my different room. I will select my lobby. Okay. When you have to select multiple things, make sure you click on shift so you get that plus sign next to your wand. And now this time, instead of making the pattern overlay directly, I will just click on the plus sign that says new layer. Okay. So I will say new layer and I will rename that as a wooden floor or whatever you want to say it. I will say wooden flooring. Okay. And this time you need to paint it. Okay. I will just paint that area. Make sure you are in the wooden flooring. When you're painting it, you should be in the wooden flooring and this area still gets selected. Okay. Whatever things you're helpful, you can just work easy for you. It will show you the same thing. Now what I will do, I will go in blending option, right click, blending option. And here I will do the pattern overlay. Instead of doing there, I'll just do the pattern overlay here. And I will change to the wooden floor. And again, you can change the scale as you want. Okay. Then you will add an inner shadow. And then you can just play along with how much opacity you want, how much distance you want. You can change. This as you can play along with it and choose whatever things best working for your plan. You keep like that way. And then I can just say Control D, that means deselect everything. Okay. And then you will add a furniture. Do you remember what we did for the hybrid rendering? We added the emboss that you will get a cushiony feel. So if you have any tile materials, like this one is just a furniture that I want to add for my table. So again, whenever you need to select, you will go in a floor plan, select my table, just for meeting room. It's a darker floor or darker style. So I will just go again in here, pattern overlay. I will change that pattern to darker. Maybe I'll change to 90. I need the crossways. And I'll change the scale just a little bit. So if you see here, it just shows like a simple tabletop. So I will just say table top or meeting room. And then here also you can add a blending option. Blending option is really helpful to give your drawing, make it more realistic. So if you see here, bevel and emboss, if I just click on that, you get like something that issue. And then instead of smooth, I will say chisel. You can get this, but this is like too big. So you just need to just reduce the size, make it softer. So it will give a table effect like that. Okay. So you can play along and you will make sure that looks like a nice and table top like that. It will look more 3D like that. And then that's why it's like when you're working with Photoshop, blending option is a really good thing to help you to make it more realistic look. Now I will show you if you have a chair, how you can make that chair look more of a soft. And you can same thing, you can just select any of the material. If I'm not sure if I have added, I think I'm not, but I will just pull the color, put the color for the chair. So I will go back in a floor plan. I will select the chair. Maybe on the back as well. Whatever color you want to fill in. I will say solid color. Maybe a bit lighter one for my chairs. And then I will say chairs. I will go back in blending option. And this time, you can again do the bevel and emboss, or you can add some texture as well. You can just play along. It's just like, I don't want to add. And then if you see here, pillow emboss, stroke emboss, inner bevel. Instead of smooth, I will just make a smooth and direction down. So it shows that it's a chair. So you can just play along with it, whatever you want, and you get a nice effect of any of your drawing, and you can see how it looks like. So the blending option is a really good thing that you work on and make your drawing looks really good, more presentable, even though if you have just a simple AutoCAD drawing or a Revit drawing, right? And then now we have added this much. Now if you have like these, if you see here, these here you have alongside, on this side, you have the curtain walls, right? That means you have open windows there. So you can have the sunlight coming inside in your plan. So do you remember what we did to show the sunlight in hybrid rendering? We will do the same thing here as well. Okay, so let me just make a new layer first. This is the last thing I will show you, and then we will go in InDesign, and then you finish your plan with all the material, like all the furniture doing like this, okay? Let me just say the light or sunlight, whatever you want to say. And you can add shadows, more shadows like that, but I don't want to go in more detail. This was enough for our project, but I want you to remember this for your lifetime because this will be useful when you go in industry as well. So now if you see sunlight, when you're doing any sunlight, first you need to change the overlay style, like the normal, change to overlay. Okay. And then what you need to do, what I will just show you here, okay, on this side. So whenever you have a sunlight, so maybe what I will do, I will change the direction of my shadow on the other side, because if you see here, I have a shadow in there that I can do that later. Let's see, focus on the adding sunlight first. So I will use the polygon lasso tool. Maybe I can just show, like, add an angle, or you don't have to add an angle because it's just a simple long curtain wall, the whole length curtain wall. So I'll just use this in the sunlight, okay? And then we will use a gradient pattern, if you remember what we did in hybrid rendering. So I will go in paint bucket, like, where is the paint bucket? I will go in here, select gradient. Once you select the gradient, select the color. Okay, make sure this is pixelated, means it's opaque. It's not have any other different color. It's just a transparent there. Just change the color to yellow. I'll just select whatever looks better. I'll say okay. I will say okay. And this is radial. So what I will do now, I will just pull from outside to inside. Okay. So the problem is I did it, but my floor is on top. And I did twice. So now I'll see. I pull that like this way. Again. I just need to pull that all the way up. Okay. Control Z. I pull. Why it's not showing up? Okay. So now I have, let me just pull. First, show all the way there. And delete this one. Okay. Now, again, I will just show from here to here. It's just a bit now. This is lighter. I don't want too much in there. And then if you want to more, you can just add one more, but that's okay. And then if you remember, we did in the filter, we go in filter, blur, you can go Gaussian blur, and then you can just play along with it. So it will look like a light, nice sunlight is coming from the window. Control D. So that's why I said you need to change the shadow, okay? So if I just click on any of my inner shadow, that's the one, right? Blending option. My angle was, if you see the inner shadow, my angle was 45 degrees. Maybe I'll just change to plus 90, maybe 135. So it will be on the other side. So now can you see that my shadow direction changed and it looks better now? Okay, so this way you can just add a nice, this will be maybe yellow. Maybe you can just, if you think it's too dark, you can just change the opacity to maybe lighter, so it will not be overwhelming, but it shows some light is coming from the window. And then if you're done, you can just use the crop. Where is my crop? Yeah. Where did crop go? Okay. So you can use a crop just to crop if you have all that details down. Okay, make sure you save this. I have not saved it, so I will just save as a floor plan. Okay, I will save that. And if you're still working on it, that's okay. You can just keep working on it, but I will show you how to import that in Adobe Creative, InDesign. So for InDesign, when you're making it a PDF, you will create a file, new document. Okay. So when you're creating a new document, you need to select a print. Okay. You need to select the print, select the tabloid, and change to inches so you know you're on the right direction. If you have vertical plan, you can use vertical. If you have a horizontal plan, you can just use landscape style, and just change facing pages, uncheck it, because we just need one page. We don't want multiple pages that connecting to each other. So we'll just create one facing page. So uncheck that, one simple seed. I will say create. And then, even though if you're still working on, you can just import that in here, place your plan, and then you can keep working on. And then if you just change the link in here, it will update on InDesign as well. So it's really good that they are linked together. So let me just find my floor plan, open. So you just need to place it. It will be the same direction. So you need to place it the way you want. Now you can just use your text to add a room names, okay? You can add the floor plan with your scale. You can add a title to this, and then like you can just say that's my open office, and then you will just finished everything, and then you will export or Control P as a PDF. Make a PDF out of it, okay? So make sure you have general, all these things. Where is output? Adobe Creative Suite. Where is paper size? Paper size change to 11 by 17. Width. Okay, and then you can just print whatever you can print. You can submit the PDF. Okay. Floor plan, whatever you want to say. And then you can submit this PDF on Canvas. Okay, so keep working on it. It will be, I have not added anything, but make sure you have all the text in there and you will submit like that way. Okay, so I will stop here.